Hey, Commanders fans, get ready because today we've got exclusive news about our team, and you don't want to miss a thing. So, subscribe to the channel, activate the bell to be the first to hear everything, and of course, leave a like to strengthen our support and show that we're all true fans. We're committed to bringing you the latest updates, news, and everything that goes on behind the scenes at the Commanders. So, without further ado, let's check out today's news. Report: Washington Commanders part ways with Klen Ferrell. The Washington Commanders have decided to part ways with a marquee name on their defensive line. According to information from Last Man Standing, released Tuesday, the team has opted to release defensive end Klen Ferrell, who will now remain available on the market as an unrestricted free agent. Ferrell, 28, was the fourth overall pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, selected by the then Oakland Raiders, now the Las Vegas Raiders. Loaded with expectations from the start of his career, the pass rusher never achieved the star status many projected, but he has established himself as a solid piece of the defensive rotation. Last season, playing for the Washington Commanders, Ferrell appeared in 14 games, starting 10 of them. During that time, he recorded 26 total tackles and forced one fumble, contributing consistently to the defensive line rotation. Despite this, his production wasn't enough to guarantee his continued presence on the 2025 roster. The decision is part of the natural process of cuts that all franchises must make before the start of the regular season. According to NFL rules, teams must reduce their rosters to 53 active players by Tuesday's deadline. It's worth remembering that during training camp, teams can have up to 90 players on their roster, making this period of the calendar one of the busiest and most challenging for players and coaches. With Ferrell's departure, the Washington Commanders open up space for young talent or potential reinforcements from market. The defensive line, which already boasts prominent names, remains one of the team's pillars, but the absence of a veteran like Ferrell could be felt in terms of experience and roster depth. Now, it remains to be seen what the next step in Klen Ferrell's career will be. With his experience in the league and still at a good age for a pass rusher, it's likely that another NFL team will give the player another opportunity, whether as a starter looking for a fresh start or as a rotational piece on defenses that need immediate reinforcement. Washington Commanders release quarterback Sam Hartman in roster move. Hey Commanders fans! The Washington Commanders continue to adjust their roster for the NFL season, and this week made an important decision regarding the quarterback position. The team announced the release of Sam Hartman, who had been competing for roster spot during the preseason. According to NFL media, the move is part of the team's final cuts process to reach the 53-player limit on the main roster. Despite the release, Hartman is expected to be considered for a return to Washington's practice squad, where he could continue his development and perhaps have another opportunity in the future. Hartman's journey to Washington. Hartman, 26, joined the Commanders as an undrafted free agent after finishing his college career at Notre Dame, one of the most storied universities in American football. However, most of his college football career was spent at Wake Forest, where he achieved national prominence by breaking school records and establishing himself as one of the most productive quarterbacks in the ACC. In 5 years at Wake Forest, Hartman totaled over 12,000 passing yards and 110 touchdowns, numbers that caught the attention of NFL scouts. His move to Notre Dame in 2023 was aimed at playing for a more prominent program and improving his draft prospects. Despite his strong performances, he was ultimately not selected in the 2024 NFL Draft, paving the way for him to sign with Washington as an undrafted free agent. 2025 preseason performance. In the current preseason, Hartman received important opportunities to demonstrate his worth. However, his numbers weren't in his favor. He completed 25 passes in 46 attempts, totaling 207 yards, but threw 4 interceptions in different games. These mistakes weighed heavily on his evaluation, as the coaching staff expected consistency and reliability, especially in pressure situations. Despite this, Hartman showed flashes of potential, demonstrating mobility in the pocket and the ability to extend plays. The problem was his decision-making, something that still needs to be refined. Sam Hartman's future. Despite being released, the outlook isn't necessarily negative for the young quarterback. The Washington Commanders are considering keeping him on the practice squad, which would allow him to continue training within Coach Dan Quinn's offensive system and under the supervision of the offensive coordinators. This would be a valuable opportunity for Hartman to correct his flaws, gain professional experience, and over time, put himself back in contention for an active roster spot. Commanders defensive back sparks interest from several NFL teams. Hey Commanders fans! The Washington Commanders are getting closer to kicking off the 2024 NFL season. But before that, like all franchises in the league, they must reduce their official roster to 53 players. This process of cuts and adjustments creates room for market movements, and one name in particular has been attracting a lot of attention: cornerback Noah Igbinoghene. According to reporter Diana Rossini of The Athletic, several teams are monitoring the defender's situation and have expressed interest in a possible trade. Rossini noted in her post on X, formerly Twitter, the Commanders have been evaluating interest from several teams in cornerback Noah Igbinoghene, according to sources. Igbinoghene, a first-round pick of the Miami Dolphins in 2020, could provide secondary depth for teams looking to add to their cornerback roster. Igbinoghene, 26, entered the NFL as a first-round pick of the Miami Dolphins and spent 3 seasons in Miami before joining the Dallas Cowboys for a year. In 2024, as a Commanders player, he had his most productive season in the league: 55 total tackles, 33 solo, 7 passes defended, and 1 tackle for loss in 17 games played, all figures that marked the best performances of his career thus far. While not yet considered a star, the fact that he is a young, experienced former first-rounder coming off his best season makes him a valuable player on the market. For the Commanders, the situation becomes a dilemma. Is it better to keep him for safety and depth on the roster or trade him for draft picks to strengthen the franchise's future? Currently, the cornerback position in Washington boasts prominent names such as Marshawn Lattimore, Mike Sainristil, and rookie Trey Amos. However, Lattimore's injury history and his struggles in 2023 raise questions about the depth of the secondary if the team decides to part ways with Igbinoghene. Furthermore, it's no secret that the Commanders have already been quite aggressive in draft pick negotiations, and acquiring additional assets could be tempting for the front office. On the other hand, keeping Igbinoghene could ensure greater stability and defensive competitiveness throughout the season. The final decision is expected to come soon as the roster cuts deadline approaches and the NFL market is heated. It remains to be seen whether the Commanders will invest in the cornerback's trade value or retain him to strengthen their defense in 2024. Backhand index pointing right, so Commanders fans, what do you think? Should the team trade Igbinoghene or keep him on the roster for this season? Leave your opinion in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with all the news and updates from our Washington Commanders.